What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. As you see behind me, we've got the all new Fiesta ST, the Mark 8 version. Makes a change from all the German cars we do on this channel. The plan is today I'm going to give you guys a walk around, show you all the sort of spec and stuff, give you guys a few sort of revs as well, and yeah, we'll take it on a sort of usual country route and give it a nice sort of drive. I haven't actually driven any Fiesta ST before, so I'm quite looking forward to it. But I have driven a few Polo GTIs. I've also driven the all new one too, so we'll sort of compare it to that and see how it sort of stacks up. But what we'll do now, we'll start with the sort of walk around, and then yeah, we'll get on the road. Right people, so the all new Fiesta ST, apologies if it is a bit bright, it's like the sun is directly there, so I can't really do much about it. But yeah, the all new Fiesta ST, the Mark 8 version. The main change from this compared to the previous one is that it's now got a 3-cylinder engine, a 1.5 litre EcoBoost. Still pushes around 200 PS though, so it's quite comparable to the Polo GTI. It's practically the same sort of figure there. So yeah, decent amount of power in a small car. This one is a 3-door as well. There are a few sort of different options you can get on these cars. One of the most important ones to go for, in my opinion, is the performance pack. This particular car has got it. So the main difference with the performance pack is you get a Quaife LSD, an actual proper LSD, not sort of brake torque vectoring like you get on a lot of hot hatches. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing how that performs in sort of real world scenarios. The rest of it finishing this nice sort of blue paintwork, 18-inch wheels, wrapped in Michelin Pilot Super Sports. Makes a nice change. Normally you don't see small cars like this with Super Sports on them. Shows it is a proper tool. You've also got this nice sort of roof panel, which reminds me a lot of a M carbon roof in terms of the dip in the middle. There are a bunch of options you can get on this car, so you can get stuff like a panoramic roof, you can get LED headlights, but to be honest, a lot of it you probably don't need on sort of a small hot hatch. But yeah, what we'll do, we'll just show you the back of the car as well. I mean, I have watched a few videos on this car online. They are sort of split opinions on the way it looks versus the Mark 7. Like I said, I'm not really too experienced with a lot of Fiesta STs, so it's all new to me anyway. But I think this car does look quite good. It's got this sort of grown-up look in a way, but also not too boring. There are a few sort of German hot hatches that some people class as boring, but I think this has the right sort of balance. In terms of interior, Ford performance, and we've got these lovely Recaro bucket seats too. It's always good when you see proper seats on a car. It just shows off that it's a proper performance sort of tool. There are a lot of cars that have performance but don't have the seats to match. They do have quite aggressive bowstring though, so I'll see how it fares when I sit in it. Yeah, they are quite buckety, but yeah, generally quite a nice interior. I mean, straight off the bat you can tell the sort of upgrading quality compared to the previous gen Fiesta ST. I have sat in a few of them, but I haven't really driven any, but I have sat in them and they didn't look anything like this. I mean, you've got this sort of nice gloss black finish, you've got this touchscreen here, you got this carbon effect trim. It also wraps around at the top there. This nice sort of speedo too, which is a sort of semi-digital sort of setup in my opinion, I think. We've also got Bang & Olufsen speakers. Got a 6-speed manual as well, as you should in a small hot hatch like this. The one thing about the Polo GTI I found is only available in DSG at the moment, the new one. That is a drawback to some, because a lot of people like these smaller hot hatches with a manual, and I can totally understand that. That'd probably be my choice as well. But if I close the door here, nice solid thud as well. Door handles up here, lock buttons, so I'll show you all the little touches. Also got the driving mode selection button here, ESC off, and the start stop button down here. Convenient USB slot there too. Power outlets. Decent amount of space in the back too, considering this is a 3-door. The seats go right to the back as well, like there's the boot right there and there's a headrest. It's literally right at the back, so they do tend to use all of their space up properly. In terms of legroom, that's that there. What we'll do now though, we'll turn the car on, just show you the infotainment system quickly. Right, so here's the key. This car is keyless, so foot on the clutch. Nice little 3-cylinder rumble. But yeah, here's the infotainment system. I've not really used this system before. The last time I was in a sort of Ford hot hatch was the RS Focus. That was last gen. I believe it had a Sync 3. And we didn't really go over it too much either. But this is home. You got sort of audio and stuff. Mobile apps. Bluetooth of course. Yeah, the usual stuff. All this sort of tile arrangement, a bit like a phone as they do nowadays. CarPlay as well, that's good. Wi-Fi valet mode, that's interesting. Decent amount of features as it should. This is an ST2 as well, so it has got a nice few touches here and there. One thing that's noticeable straight away though for me is how roomy it is in here. Like normally I get in cars, the center console's up here and like the windscreen's right there, but here the windscreen's all the way back there and you got the nice speaker too. It just makes it a nice sort of pleasant environment, you know, if you want to drive on a daily basis. One thing good about this though, it can actually shut down one of its cylinders when you're doing sort of the commuting sort of business, daily use. It actually can go to 2 cylinders if you want, so it is quite efficient. The owner tells me it gets 46 miles per gallon on a run. Quite good for the performance on tap. I mean, so far it's actually averaging 31.8. This is still quite a new car as well, as you can see. I believe that's the miles there, 1500, so it is quite new. It probably will get better as well. But what we'll do now though, we'll get a few revving clips. I'll put the camera down and yeah, you'll get to hear the 3-cylinder in action. So as you heard there, definitely does sound quite good. The 3-cylinder engine note is quite unique, has a hint of sort of 6-cylinder in it, as it would. You also got all the sort of pops and bangs as you do on every sort of 2018 hot hatch. But yeah, what we'll do now guys, we'll head out on some country roads, find out how it drives like. But quickly before we get into the drive though guys, just going to give a quick reminder, if you enjoy watching videos on these sort of affordable hot hatches, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've done a lot of videos in the past and also I've got a lot more to come. I tend to focus on these more sort of affordable performance cars, stuff like these Fiesta STs, Golf Rs, stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe and yeah, let's get into that drive. Right people, so here we are on the Fiesta ST. We're on our sort of usual roads, the ones where we test a lot of the cars. This is actually the same road that I drove the new Polo GTI on, so it gives us a sort of accurate comparison. And also of course, like I mentioned, this is the first Fiesta ST that I've driven. So far though, you can definitely feel like the 3-cylinder definitely has a different sort of character to it. The car sort of like buzzes a bit in a way. But yeah, we'll basically take it around a few bends, give you guys a few flybys as well in a bit, and yeah, you'll just get a nice sort of feel for it. But yeah, let's just get started. Already getting some bangs. So like I mentioned at the start, this particular car has got the performance pack. So the main sort of feature of the performance pack is the sort of fact that it's got a proper sort of LSD. Also you do get launch control as well, which is a nice added feature. Yeah, generally you can just listen to it. It sounds like a mini sort of 6-cylinder. Straight away it feels a lot more energetic than the Polo. I mean, you don't even have to drive it that far to feel it. So it's got around 200 PS or 197 bhp, whichever way you want to measure it. So it's bang on the money with the Polo. But they're quite different cars straight away, from the looks to the way that the interior is, and also to the way they drive so far. The Polo to me comes across like a bit of a small Golf now. The way it's quite refined, and it's DSG only as well. So the engagement factor is already lacking in a bit. The thing is though, the one thing I didn't like about that car was that it isn't that loud from the factory. With this one you can hear straight away, it's got a lot of pops and bangs. These are just my first impressions so far. The car just feels so much more alive. Yeah, you can just tell why people love these cars. I mean, I haven't driven the previous gen, but a good car you can tell straight away within 5 minutes. See, the last sort of fast Ford, and pretty much the only fast Ford that I've driven, is the Mark III RS. That was a good car of course, but in a different price bracket too. But yeah, even that compared to say something like a Golf R was a lot more engaging. So it makes sense for something like this compared to its sort of the VW group equivalent is just a bit more engaging. They sort of have their different sort of purposes. You get a nice whistling noise, and then you get the 3-cylinder rumble. You got to remember, at the end of the day, this is a 1.5 litre engine producing around 200 PS, so it's a lot of power for a small car. The ride's quite good, the way it deals with the bumps. It's not like a spongy ride, but it's enough that it doesn't chuck you off. Like for example, if you go over a bump, it's not going to send you like into a hedge. Some front-wheel drive cars that I've driven with a diff and stuff, when you start accelerating, they start following a lot of cambers. It just makes a nice noise as well. It doesn't feel like you're driving like a mini hot hatch in a way, the way the sound is. It's definitely got enough power. nice things at the top. The turning is so good. It feels like the car weighs nothing at all.
Just when you go.
It tugs it around, innit? Just give it some here. To me it feels a bit quicker than the Polo. I don't know what it is, it's probably the sensational speed. Definitely feels a bit more urgent. Especially considering the fact that this is a 1.5 3-cylinder and that's a 2-litre. I mean the revs, of course, as being a 3-cylinder, they do take a while to drop off, as in like if you go right to the rev band, right to the top of the rev band, you'll feel that it takes a bit longer to drop down to say 2, 3. But then you might as well get back on the gas anyway and enjoy the car. Brakes are decent as well, following the camber a bit there. And bangs as well. Yeah, look how light this is. You just don't get this sort of urgency in something like a Polo GTI, or even, you know, stuff like Golf 1s and stuff a bit bigger, sort of attached. You don't get this sort of urgency. And the last time I felt this sort of urgency was, ironically, the Focus RS. Yeah, gotta have that diff, man. Gotta have it. To me, the standout feature is the sound, though. That is the standout feature so far. Yeah, look at that. For a stock car to sound like that. Get a little wearing as well as you slide out. Right, we'll give it some here, nice and quiet. Yeah, I prefer this engine to the one of the Polo, even though that is the 2-litre E8 AAA. It just felt a bit more lazy. This doesn't feel lazy at all. This is the perfect car for this road. Yeah, we definitely need to do a lot more Fords on the channel now. Been missing out this whole time. Even though I did do the sort of Focus RS last year, there's so many more sort of Fords. Mainly being the ST, of course, but there's sort of tuned ones and standard ones and ST 200s and all these different variants. So thought we'd start off with the all new one. Give a sort of direct sort of comparison to the Polo GTI. My main sort of thought so far is that that car is a more sort of sensible car, but for my purposes I would have this car over that for sure. Even though you probably think I'm more of a German car guy, it's not the case. It's more about what's more fun, especially like if you like spending time out here, which I do. Look at the way it's just so light. This is a go-kart. You know, you talk about cars are go-karts or not. This is a go-kart feeling car. And like the thing is, it's a genuinely fast car as well. It's not just fast for a little car, you know. When you take it on these twisties, it's more about how much speed you can hold through the bend. So this, of course, is the one with the diff, so this one is very good. Be interested to see how one without a diff would be like, but I'm sure it's still quite good. But yeah, it gets going. There's enough pace there. It's almost as if like the threshold for it losing grip, like there's a lot much more to give in this car. Like I'm not really pushing it too much. It feels like you could do a lot more in it, which is a nice feeling to have. In the Polo I almost felt the sort of edge of it in a way, like because it's doing all that brake sort of vectoring in a way. You sort of can feel the end of the grip. This just hangs in there. Yeah guys, I think we've covered most bits on this car now. Definitely very impressed with it, I'm not gonna lie. It's a proper engaging little car. It's got plenty of performance as well for these sort of back roads. The handling's spot on as well. Of course this has the diff, so definitely helps with that. I would spec it as well if I was gonna go for one. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up for sure. Got a lot more sort of affordable cars on the way, like videos of them. We're gonna sort of do more sort of like Fiesta STs and maybe do a few Corsa VXR, stuff like that, because I like to sort of cover sort of wide variety rather than just doing like M3s and Golf Rs all the time. I do understand that can get a bit repetitive, but yeah guys, make sure to subscribe for all of that content to come, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.